I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, it's where I talk about twin flames. This is a reading for the collective for the new moon, February the 11th, 2021. So just going to look at a general reading of what we need to know right now. So the energy that's coming up in terms of twin flame process, which is the process of coming into the light and dismantling the dark. So let's see what they want to say about this portal that is this moon energy that we're working towards right now, and how it's going to manifest basically through us and around us. So they're showing me two doves, so that's about peace. So I feel really strongly this new moon portal that we're going through is really about changing the whole world. Spectrum of dark and light, so erasing more of the dark egoic energy from the world itself, healing the world theme. And how does that happen in twin flame process? It happens by you experiencing the dark within yourself, so dark and negative thoughts, worry, confusion, anything coming through the mind that's always mind based, and you coming into more open energy, so that's heart energy, more empathic energy. So it's like a letting go of what is in your mind and moving towards a feeling of freedom. So that's inside yourself, and then of course you're here to do that work for the world, for healing the world, the healing of the whole of the humanity. So you're going to encounter what comes to you from outside of yourself in terms of dark energy. So that's people that operate from ego, narcissists and the like, and that coming towards you so that you can really take on board that energy from there and also clear through that, coming to a better place within yourself. So let's get some cards out. We are still in progress of dismantling the dark in the matrix. And there are spots all over the world, they're saying, where the ego is really heavy. So over certain places in the world, certain locations, these move around, so it's not static. It's a bit like having a sports league, where you can see it on a chart, and it's like you've got that flutter going on in the numbers, and things are changing place constantly in terms of where the dark is being eliminated and where it's stronger. So it's like a league, the darkness league, basically. So it's not always the same place. It moves around, and as it moves around, our energy moves around. That's yours and your twins together. Your energy moves around and heals that dark energy. So in terms of what comes through the masculine, which is always coming through the head, it's always mental energy, which is that dark ego. They're not just clearing their own life, and they're not just clearing their own lifetimes, which we've spoken about before, but they're clearing humanity as humanity exists right now. So they're clearing in locations around the world where the heaviness of the ego is really weighing in. It's like a battle, so you can view it like a boxing ring over that location where the dark is in one corner, the light is in the other, and the masculine energy is there, and they're taking on board all that ego that comes up in that location. That's coming through them as well, so it comes through their head. So this is why you feel ego at new moon, because what they're taking on board in terms of world healing is also inside of them energetically. So you're experiencing that deletion that's going on through the masculine work. So you can see there's a lot going on in twin flames that you can't see with the physical eye, that you can only read energetically, and why things don't move, in terms of like incoming to your initiation, your understanding of the twin flame, to physical reunion and that end point, that things don't just move straight from one to the other, because in between there's a lot of work done in healing the world and healing the energy of the world. Let's have a look, see what they say. Twin flames coming out, 2 of cups. So mirror image as well. And at the moon, what you do get is the masculine coming through the feminine. So you get that ego coming through, and you've got to have a greater understanding around that now, around what that is. It's not just them. It's not what they're experiencing in their life. On a scale of 1 to 10, this lifetime is maybe 1, and number 10 is healing for the world. So that's what they're doing. So when you get an extreme purge coming through, you're going to feel them coming through more strongly. And how they're going to feel it, how the masculine feels it, is in terms of their life. On a conscious level, they don't know what they're doing. So everything appears to be about their life. Just as in you, the feminine, consciously, from a physical eye, it appears to be about this lifetime. But like I say, behind that, there's streams and streams of energy and timelines and work going on energetically that you can't see from your standing in the physical shoes, understanding, from the conscious understanding. Neither can your twin from a conscious understanding. So what's coming through them at the moon, they're not going to understand a lot of the time. It'll appear to be about their life. It'll appear to be about their connection with you. It'll appear they feel inside themselves stuck. I can tell you that. They feel like they can't move forward in life. They feel like they don't know why they can't move forward. They feel like they have no understanding of themselves. They're trying to search for it in their head, and they can't find it there, because what's coming through them is through world healing, generational healing, historical healing, humanity healing. So there's a lot coming through them they're not going to understand from the mind, and it'll come through as confusion around their personal lives. So when you experience this journey, which is an energetic journey from A to Z, from the dark to the light, in human form, through your experience, but also healing the whole of humanity and the whole of the world, what goes on between A and Z is mostly unseen and unknown consciously. So, of course, you might get insight into that some points along the way, through various things, if you're not looking at the matrix. So to see what's going on, you need to stop looking at the matrix and what's going on, stop looking at the lifetime that you're in, stop looking at the person that you're connected to that contains the same energy that you're working from, the twin flame energy, and start to just let go and understand that there's a reason for everything on this journey. There's a reason for the separation, because the energetic work has to be done. There's a reason for periods of detachment energetically that you can't see from a conscious perspective. The energy never detaches, it's just going elsewhere in the world and working on something else. You connect back in when that work stops going on. You connect back in energetically to each other for healing and love there through the energetic apparatus rather than in a physical form. So again, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So that's the Two of Cups there. See what else they can say about where we currently are right now, coming into this new moon. Justice. So work being done. So before the new moon, this is a time of healing the world. So maybe you're going to find that your energetic connection feels like it's left you as you go out of your inner body experience to heal the world in locations energetically. So you might feel yourself detach from your inner communication with your twin, detach from feelings, detach from empathy for your twin, detach in thoughts for your twin, detach in any kind of sensation of being at one with your twin. These things that come in, they come and go, right? So you can feel really connected 1 second and then it's all gone away the next second. So again, it's a bit like a sports league where the numbers are fluttering around, or the stock exchange even, where the lifetime numbers constantly swap around. So your connection, the energy is constantly moving. So just go with the flow, right, on how it feels, because if your energy's left you, it means it's gone out to heal the world, basically. So have that bigger understanding around that. You will connect back in. And I feel like you're going to disconnect before the moon at some point. So that's in the next couple of days, basically. And then you'll connect back in at the moon. And what you're going to connect in when you connect back in is the clearing of what has been, the healing that has been done externally in location. So maybe it's going to feel, before the moon, really high energy, good, cleared, like spot on energy, like thriving energy, like you feel good. You don't feel connected to your twin in that burdened way, in a purging way. But then as you come back together at the moon to clear what the masculine has taken on board, you will feel it and experience it coming through you more strongly. So you, the feminine attached to the masculine, also heal the world by feeling that masculine ego coming through you. So that will be the spot at the moon I'm feeling. Justice for the world is what this is. So it's awakening as well for all mankind, because when you lift the lid on the grid, so you're lifting the lid on the earth grid, the dark energy that surrounds the earth grid, which is that collective consciousness and all the dark that resides in there, which includes everything from worry and stress, doubt and fear and confusion, to narcissism, to agenda, dark agenda, manipulation, control, domination, domineering, anything that's painful to the human body, the empath, through their physical body. So where you're engaging with that in location, clearing that energy, taking the masculine takes it on board, like we say. So they take it on board inside their head. So it's like this feeling, if you can imagine, they're holding their head in their hands, like going, in pain of what's coming through their head. And as they come back to you for the healing of that, you'll feel it coming through you, and you're the one that has to then take your energy down to the heart after that clearing has come through you, back into the heart, because you go into the head so you can release it for them, letting go, back into the heart after the moon. So masculine over feminine here in terms of strength. So there's always what's going on inside of you in terms of who's taking over. Is it the masculine? Is it the feminine? The masculine is the ego. So at the moon it's the masculine, and after that it's coming back into the feminine energy. So it really is just like the stocks going up and down. Is it the masculine rising or is it the feminine rising? Is the masculine dropping or is the feminine dropping? And at the moon the masculine's rising. So taking on board the dark to eliminate the dark. Follow spirit. So do what you're spiritually guided at the moon. So that's always going to be less, not more. Spirit energy, spiritual energy is the energy of doing nothing and just allowing your life to unfold from an energy of doing nothing. Downtime, resting, recuperation, particularly if you're feeling the purge coming through. Weighing yourself down with food. So if you eat food, you're going to ground your physical body. You're going to make the experience easier. It's like dopamine, they're saying. So if you eat food, heavy food, fats, it may be carbohydrates. Even if you're a fat person like I am, I eat a diet consisting only of fats and protein. I don't eat the carbs. But even at the moons, I'll be having some carbs, no doubt, because they help your weight in that particular time weigh heavy, so it grounds you. Also sends you to sleep. So if you eat a lot, you fill yourself up and you doze off, right? So it's really good for that as well. It's good for like taking yourself out of your physical body just around the moon time and allowing your physical body to not be there. So if you're asleep, you're not in your physical body, and it means that you don't feel the daggers coming through your physical body. So it's not going to be as painful for you to go through the moon if you're asleep, napping, than if you are awake and trying to move around and do things on the moon where you're feeling the daggers coming through you. Because the ego in the mind, as it comes through, that dark energy feels like daggers going through your body sometimes. It feels like literally when you're an empath, when you're feminine energy, like you're being attacked by knives. So, and that can come in mild or extreme, depending where you're at in the process. This process, which is a process of eliminating the dark energy of the whole of humanity through you, means that you're working on a gradient. So we said before, right, your early life will be in your particular life that you'll notice it around you, feel it from around you, and then it'll feel like daggers you're being attacked with knives by the dark energy around you that you experience. As you move through your process and you become wiser and you become more adept at shifting energy and shifting the dark to the light, you'll notice it disappears from your physical life and around you. And you could say then, well, I'm looking around me and I've let go and everything's let go of me and I'm in a really great place. So where is my reunion and why isn't it here? You've got to understand that your work in healing the world is going on unconsciously. So the work that you're doing is not just about you feeling good right now and not being attacked from the dark outside of yourself in your personal life. It's about ego all over the world, surrounding the world, that at certain points when you become more adept at shifting energy, you're going to experience coming through you one way or another. This could be also random events, random people coming to you from dark energy, so that you are engaging again with dark energy. These are the quizzical moments you have. Why have I drawn that person to me? Why am I having an interaction with what I know to be an extreme narcissist? Because I can feel that energy of them, like feeling like I'm being pushed into a corner energetically, feeling like I'm shriveling up energetically, feeling like I'm losing ground energetically, feeling pain coming through my physical body, feeling my emotions coming up in terms of the inner child wounding that I felt before but not for a long time. So drawing to you that kind of stuff, because where there is energy around the world that's causing dark energy, you have narcissism in people as well, or in all sorts of different ways. And in clearing that, you're going to bring it to you so you can experience it and draw it towards the light. And in that, heal it. So know that as well, that it might be coming to you again in your personal life, where you are not in, it's like that seems so random and so like that's why is that going on again, when I know that's kind of cleared from my experience. Nine of Swords, ending of the dark night of the soul. So that's inside of you. So if it comes to you from outside of yourself, don't go into this worry about it and worry and stress about it and think that something's wrong. Know that you're clearing and healing on multiple levels, so you do draw it to you, and that is all through your process in different ways. So there's nothing intrinsically to worry about your experience of that when it's happened, when it's through, because these things come through and they hit you like a storm, and then you're going to feel it, and then it leaves, and then you're on your own again, and then go back to your feeling good. So don't dwell on what came in, why did it come in, thinking there's something wrong with you because you attracted that, because there isn't, because nothing is ever wrong. And just let go and go back to your feeling good as soon as you can. So work back towards your feeling good. Sometimes it's a little bit of an uphill battle, following a period of intense darkness, to work back to your feeling good. If it's coming through from your twin to you and you're feeling it there, again, same. If it's a purge, sometimes it's hard to just get back to your feeling good. It's just one step at a time. You just go one step at a time, looking after yourself, taking care of yourself, knowing that what came through had to come through, not beating yourself up about what came through, not being sad or gloomy about what came through. Or if you are, allow it, but know that it will get better. So not punishing yourself, Happiness. So after the moon, coming back to more happiness, basically. So the masculine's basically doing his work around the world. It's like an energy sweeping around the world, clearing up dark energy. Space invaders. And then those are, what were they called? The gobblers that used to go along, right, in the machine, gobbling up dark energy. Can't remember what they're called. It's like that, and then return to self afterwards, and happiness for the feminine. So going into the dark, coming out into the light. See what's down here. It's a process unfolding, bringing everyone into the light, shifting energy, inner child, masculine, feminine, inner child, all coming back to the inner child. And when you get through to the end of the process, so for those of you at the end of the process who are when you get to the end of this process and you've cleared through to the light within yourself and your purge is finished, and a lot of us are getting through to that point where the purge coming from the masculine, coming through the feminine at the new and the full moons, that swapping of energy, we've come to the end of that. So a lot of us are through that. So the feminine is in really good energy all the time, and the masculine is in good energy all the time. So we cleared that inner process that's a connection between each other of this lifetime. We've cleared the past lives, the history of humankind, but we're still in the energy of clearing the world, which is where we're still in separation. So what you're going to notice come through there in terms of your twin is really small incidents of what is left in them. And what you're going to notice from outside of yourself in terms of clearing the world is big incidents of what comes to you from outside of yourself. The dark energy coming at you through other people, other things, terms of big ticket items, big ticket narcissistic engagement, and you seeing through that and understanding where is dark energy and how it appears in the physical world in terms of how it comes through a human, corded to their ego, not operating from their heart, and how it feels to encounter that outside of yourself in terms of in communication from with a narcissist, with that dark energy, somebody only operating from ego. And this is building strength in the feminine as well, and it's building strength in the feminine so the twins can move forward into the physical manifestation of their energetic union and then work in the world at dismantling dark energy from a physical standpoint rather than an energetic standpoint. So there's a reason you bring yourself everything. In terms of the twin and what you feel coming from your twin, you're going to feel the last of the things for them. I'll just tell you a little thing, right, because this is what happened to me this morning. And I finally, in a couple of weeks, right, these pieces just fell together in terms of something that was energetically I was tied to for a long time, all my life. So when my mother died, I became very anxious because of the relationship with my father, who was a narcissist. So I was living on the edge of the cliff constantly, reacting and responding to his level of narcissism and trying to like engage with myself and protect myself and all that kind of stuff. What I hadn't even understood, and this is only in the last couple of weeks, is that I'd also become mildly obsessive compulsive and in doing things like organising things in drawers, things in my bedroom, laundry, things that were really inconsequential in the greater scheme of things. I went through a lot of my life from adolescence, when this all started, to even up to like three years ago maybe, of clearing this this behaviour around obsessive compulsive. So where I was placing importance on laundry. So I'm talking about the laundry example because this is what's come through for me. So how it manifested when I was young was I would be completely debilitated by not being able to get my laundry done at the laundrette. And I would go into complete fear and utter devastation if the laundry was closed and I wasn't able to do my laundry. And as I moved through life, I became less engaged with that fear around laundry, but it always remained in a certain way. So in the forefront of my mind would be getting my laundry done. And this would be nearly every day of my life. I'd wake up, I'd think about my laundry. What day was I going to do it? Which laundry was I going to do? Was I going to do the dark? Was I going to do the light? This kind of thing, always in the forefront of my experience. And because of this, it meant that in my life, where I could have been focused on more light engagement, more having fun, more feeling good, more letting go, I was corded to what was this coming through, just having to get laundry done and being in that energy. And it meant that I just didn't thrive. My life didn't thrive. It didn't go anywhere. You know, I had a life that was stuck, that never got beyond a certain level, where I was corded by dark energy the whole time. Minor jobs, drudgery jobs, slave-like jobs, all this stuff, right? Because I was corded to this narcissistic energy through this obsessive-compulsive desire to control my life in the only way I could, which had developed through the engagement with a narcissistic father, where I felt like I had no control over my life. So as I moved through this, it happened a few weeks ago that I was engaging with my twin, as having a bath, and his energy was there. And I had the revelation around the laundry and doing the laundry itself. And sounds ridiculous, right? Around the letting go of putting the laundry first in my life, because I still do it. I still wake up and the first thing will be, what am I doing laundry today? What day am I doing my laundry? But I'm now engaged in a lot of fun and a lot of experimentation around having fun and letting go. So it's like the last thing to go is this little hook around laundry. This morning when I got up, my twin was there. And I was having a conversation with him, energetically having a conversation with him. As he comes in, he's my inner child. So we connect through the inner child. And it's that voice of, it's a quizzical voice. So where it's gone from me having him come through, and it's really been profound purging, or it's been really big ticket items, like earlier on in the process where he'd come through and it'd be us basically fighting and arguing inside me around how he treated me and what had gone on there and all that purge stuff. Now what it's boiled down to is he's coming in and he's saying to me, he's asking me about the laundry. When are you going to do the laundry? And I'm saying to him, well, really, the laundry is inconsequential. It's not an important thing for us to think about, so we're not going to think about that. We're just going to do it whenever we feel like it. We're not going to focus on it today. So, and you can understand that you and your twin have similarities in terms of what you've been through in your lives and your process. So maybe something that's overlooked in your twin and how they are. For example, if they have an obsessive compulsive need to control their environment, which I know my twin has, but I only know that because I know that he's me and I'm him, and I know that because he comes in and he asks me about doing the laundry. But it's such a small voice now, and his voice is not worried or scared anymore. It's just quizzical, and it's asking me, what am I going to do in terms of these things? And my voice is answering him in a very calm way, in a way that's like motherly and very, just matter-of-factly in how we're going to deal with that issue of the compulsion and the obsessive compulsion to control life through simple things like doing laundry. So just notice what comes in from your twin, because the masculine over feminine is strength, and inner child here in the Page of Cups. You always connect through your inner child voice. So whatever that's going on there in your inner child is about you and your twin and how you're connecting energetically in coming to an understanding of yourselves, in coming together, in coming into agreement, in coming to an understanding that everything has to be about love and everything has to be about fun and everything has to be about enjoyment and putting that first. And this inner agreement inside of you in that with yourself is that with your twin. So it's also bringing you through into your physical reunion where you will manifest into the physical world together to have a life that is filled with love and filled with fun and filled with agreement on having fun and living a life of fun in terms of both of you together and individually and putting that first. And that's where then the work will come in on top of that in going outwards and healing the world in some way, engaged with the physical world, but it won't affect your connection together because your connection will be the feminine, having fun, loving, a lightheartedness, a joy, the work of the inner child, and your connection with the outside world will have to be the ego because it always is. So it's always going to be engagement in talking and thinking, but it'll be coming from where you're resoundingly in happiness together, and then you are able to affect the outside world through that empathy that you contain together and that you work from together, that will never go away because that is how you're growing it inside through fun and enjoyment. So just look at what's coming through at this moon in terms of your twin. Okay, justice here, and then we've got a new road forward in the Two of Wands. So this is a new road forward after the moon. So it's releasing a lot after the moon, coming back towards better energy, like they say. So it is like literally like a wave coming in with the moon, and happiness in relationship and completion in relationship for the twins, again, because it's opposite the twins there. So working towards completion, number 10, relationship, happiness in the cups. Outside of the self, inside of the self. So like I said, first of all, the connection settles down inside of yourself, so you don't find yourself in turmoil and torment inside yourself with your inner child, going from ego to inner child. You just find yourself calmly communicating with your twin in your inner childness. Okay, and then underneath what we've got is the King of Swords, so that's the truth of the masculine. Truth of the masculine is everything we just said, really. Is the masculine coming through you, coming through their mind. At the end of the process, it's going to come through more lightly, more easily, less confused, more clarity, maybe with just some small questions about the laundry. You see, it's everything in your process, absolutely everything in your life is about this communication with your twin. from the really big stuff when you start to purge it through to the end of the process where it's drawn down onto the head of a pin, where you don't even really notice inside yourself that the stuff that's going on is about your twin, in terms of laundry, the washing up, things like that. Right, let's see if there's anything else that we can put out here on top of these. And going with the Nine of Swords, good energy, feminine, good energy. And on the masculine underneath, physical manifestation of the masculine. So all is good in terms of that. It always is. We're moving forward into the union. Don't ever doubt it. Especially this year. We thought it was last year, but that's because we thought it. And that's the ego. It's this year. It's mirror numbers 2121. So it's coming through this year. Let's have a look. Two of Cups. Queen of Wands, vibration of the feminine. So always the focus is on the vibration of the feminine first. You've got to take yourself out of the game sometimes to focus on just looking after yourself. That's exactly where you should be. Not trying to push through with ego through the moon. Let go. And if you let go, clarity will come as well. And clarity will come through your twin. And you'll clear more so that you can manifest that reunion. Ten of Cups. Two of Swords, head over heart. So again, that's ego coming in. Ego at the moon. So things might look cloudy at the moon and then they'll clear afterwards. Feminine, physical feminine. So again, look after your physical body. Weigh yourself down. It's like you're a lighthouse in the storm. You've got to have a really solid base when the moon comes in and then not fear it. Batten down the hatches and know what's coming through is going to be ego. And it's going to, try to take you off balance. Like we said, could be from outside of yourself. As you get through to the end of the process, it comes through from other people. You've got to understand that you're bringing it to you for a very good reason. So let go of any wounded mentality around what you bring to yourself. And any kind of like, that was horrible. I don't want to go through that. That's really bad. Something horrible's happened to me. Having to engage with that. Let go of that mentality around it and know that you're bringing it because you're strong enough to handle it. That's what it's saying. You're strong enough to handle it. The sun is strength. So you're strong enough to handle whatever comes in. You always are. Justice on the horizon. So that's the world on the horizon as well, and the Three of Wands. Clearing the whole world. And don't worry that you're going to be doing it forever, because you're not, because we're only the way showers and the leading edge of this, and after us comes more. So the work gets passed on to them. So the clearing continues, but not through you. So don't think that, oh God, well, the world's going to have to be healed forever, so that means I'm not coming into reunion, because that's not true. You've got a new journey coming forward. Just rest, recuperate, let go. Let go of any worry, let go of any stress. Let go of any cording cording yourself to any insignificant meaning or lower meaning or meaning that is something that's going to make you feel bad. So you've got to let go of worry. You've got to let go of fear. You've got to let go of drama. So I know what we're talking about, healing the world. Sounds like a huge deal, right? Sounds like something that you need to go towards with your mind and start to investigate and read about and Google, but it doesn't mean that. It just is. It's just the energy of it. You don't need to cord yourself into it and try to look. You'll never find it from your mind anyway, because it's not in the mind, because the mind is the ego. You'll only ever gain understanding of that through the energy. So you'll feel it maybe. Once you know about it, you're able to, it's awareness. So you know about it just from this. So now you can feel it maybe. And if you can't, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. You do it when you're asleep. Look, going out of your body when asleep, stepping forward. That's when it happens. Another reason to sleep at the moon. Spirit, wisdom. So just follow spiritual. Just follow your Vibration, follow your guidance through your vibration, do what feels good, and that's the greatest wisdom. And that's the end of the journey as well. So moving towards more wisdom. Process, Nine of Cups, the process of coming into happiness inside yourself. And down here we've got something on the horizon, something that was left behind, something in terms of love. So again, when everything's cleared through the work that you've had to do, you'll reunite, and ending of the battle of the dark and the light inside of you. Clarity. So you've got more clarity right now around why you're in separation. If you're watching this and if you're in feeling good and you're in feeling great and you haven't reunited yet, and you're wondering why, because I'm feeling good, I'm feeling great, and that's supposed to be the reuniting point, the vibration, because the work around the world is just not finished yet. But it will not go on forever. Energy coming and going, Eight of Wands, new beginning in the physical world. It's not long. It's not long, that energetic. It's the last thing. It works in timelines. So it works in going between clearing the past lives and the history of mankind that's inside you. It goes between clearing this life and what's inside you. And it goes between healing the world that's outside of you. And that is all the wars and the dark energy and the way it affects the equilibrium of the world. Energetically healing that, and that's the last work that gets done. In fact, that work's done all the time, but it's the last of when that's the last work that gets done. So the others clear up and heal and finish before that one finish. It's the last one to finish, and then the masculine vibration can come back. But I'll tell you why as well. Feminine vibration, masculine vibration, because once your vibrations are both feeling good, that is a hell of a vibration that is put out there into the world for healing the world. Like that's relationship on top, but it's also in this, it's like patriarchy, dark energy. You've got the feminine vibration, the twin flame connection, energy moving, coming back and forth, masculine vibration, new beginning in the physical world. So your vibration's really strong together, so it just mops up a hell of a lot of dark energy, basically. And power. With everything in there. That's the power of you, the magician. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there for this new moon. I hope that's helped some people understand maybe where they're at of the journey and what's coming in with the moon this time. Pretty much every time it's a similar scenario, but we do one at every moon. Masculine coming into the heart, they're saying emotions. When you're dealing outside of yourself with dark energy that you draw to you, for you to come into recognition of what dark energy is, so interactions with narcissists, what's really being asked of you there is how you engage with yourself and how you engage with your own emotional well-being. So your first point of call when you're engaging with dark energy outside of yourself is not in changing that energy and going towards it and trying to change its mind or trying to talk it out of being like that, or trying to affect that through a physical sense. It's about you drawing back to yourself and focusing on your feeling good and creating the boundaries that will give the strength. Because here we've got the masculine in the heart and the process about the feeling good. So when you and your twin come back together physically, you're able to sustain this feeling good and weather the storms of what will come from around you. Because remember, when you come back together, you go out into the world to do what's called mission work in the physical world, in your ego, using your ego with boundaries set. And what you're doing now is creating that strength of boundary. You're an empath if you're on this journey. So you feel the wounding from people that are in ego through your physical body. And building strength in terms of how you feel about yourself means that it gets less and less in the physical world. So when you go out again with your twin into the physical world and you're engaging through communication, setting up groups, setting up, it could be anything like committees and groups to deal with things, you will have the strength and the resilience inside your emotional selves in your togetherness to deal with that. So that's what you're really creating when you're dealing with dark energy. Power of the feminine, the power that's in you in acting in the physical world, but it's the power of pulling back and just weathering and just letting it wash off you, right? So boundary means that you're able to just, people can come at you, they can throw sticks and stones, but you don't flinch. You can only develop that through practice, rinse and repeat of practicing engaging with that. So that'll be why you're bringing it, energy moving in, Knight of Wands, and not to worry and fear around that, the fact that you're bringing it, but to come into a greater understanding of why you're bringing it, to get you ready for your new journey once you're in physical union, right? And then that's what we're looking at today. Okay, so that's it. I hope that's helped. Sending you all lots of love. If anybody wants a reading, personal guidance, I've got the information in the description box below. You can just email me and get that. I'll have a little website up and running soon, next few weeks, I hope. All right, lots of love. Take care. Bye.